Hello, I just wanted to introduce myself properly. My name's George Vernon and I live in South Staffordshire, which is in the Midlands. I've been in the fitness industry now for well over 10 years and I can honestly say that 10 plus years of knowledge and experience changes a lot of things. My first real experience with fitness was my first ever competitive boxing fight, which was in 2012 when I was 13 years old. Boxing was what essentially drove me to become extremely passionate about health and fitness, because it gave me the confidence that I had always wanted to have. This picture is then a throwback to me at 16 years old, a few years after having my first fight. At 16, my metric of success back then was defined as becoming a world boxing champion. I was working extremely hard for this, but not very smart at all. I was training 2 to 3 times per day, 6 days a week, weighing and calorie counting my Christmas dinner and food all year round. I only had 4% of body fat all year round, and ultimately was not driven by the science as I was supported by uneducated coaches. I burnt out and overtrained and never really got going in the sport again. This was despite years later where I worked with some really high quality coaches in strength and conditioning, psychology and nutrition during my time as a sports scholar at university. The damage was already unfortunately done. But there is always a silver lining, as this for me is what led me on to becoming the path of a fitness professional. It made me extremely passionate about the inclusion of science and effective practice for everyone who was on a fitness journey. Because as I began to work in gyms from the age of 18, I also recognised that most personal trainers approach coaching with their clients in the same uneducated manner that my boxing coaches did. It was all very poor quality coaching, which led to poor quality results and a lot of wasted time. I absolutely hate wasting time. Fast forward 8 years later from this picture, I had then achieved the top grade in my sports and exercise science degree, and I'd been working as a personal trainer for 5 years. At this time, I was 3 months into my strength and conditioning master's degree, where I understood the science, but I did not have a system to implement around my nutrition, physical health and mindset. I was working 12-hour plus days on my master's degree, while setting up 2 businesses and coaching elite athletes. I burnt out again. My weight was consistently rising and I was eating and drinking alcohol to deal with the stress. I also felt like an imposter working with elite athletes when I couldn't even control my own health and fitness. My confidence and energy levels were absolutely non-existent. I took a step back and I assessed what future I actually wanted. I used all of my knowledge and experience to produce a system to get sustainable results in the most time efficient way. And I lost 27 pounds in 3 months and the Optimal Achiever system became finalised. This picture was then 2 years on after my strength and conditioning master's degree. I'd put on 26 pounds of muscle whilst running 2 fitness businesses and coaching amateur and professional boxing. My main business was GV Coaching, which is where the Optimal Achiever is run through. The other business was Fitness by Science, which I co-owned with my brother at the time. We created Fitness by Science to tackle the poor standard of education delivered to personal trainers. A level 3 PT qualification is essentially the same standard as a BTEC. During the time of running this business, we effectively qualified some quality personal trainers, but I ran into a familiar problem. I could not guarantee that what the personal trainers did with the clients after leaving Fitness by Science was all delivered to the same high quality standard, and that bothered me. So I decided to focus my full time with GV Coaching to deliver the Optimal Achiever, where I knew I could positively impact more lives. The reason I was also coaching boxing alongside this was because after 10 plus years in the sport, it is safe to say I was really struggling to let go of that identity. I finally had to let go though to achieve what I really wanted to achieve in the fitness industry. Fast forward to the present of me filming this video, it is now years on after my master's degree. I no longer coach boxing or run 2 businesses. I now run 1 business, which is the Optimal Achiever, so I can dedicate all of my time to ensuring that the people who work with me achieve phenomenal results and that they last.